All right, let's dive into something that, let's be honest, probably hits close to home for a lot of us. It's the social media paradox. We're going to explore why having 1,000 online friends can somehow, weirdly, leave us feeling more alone than ever.
I mean, this is the core question, right? We literally have the entire world in our pockets. We can talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time. So why does that feeling of real, genuine connection seem so hard to find sometimes? What is actually happening behind that screen?
Okay, so the first major piece of this puzzle is what you could call a massive perception gap. It's this huge disconnect between what we think we're seeing online and what's actually going on in real life.
And that gap gets its fuel from something called social comparison. Now, here's the wild part. It's mostly unconscious. You're not sitting there with a spreadsheet, scoring your life against someone else's. It just happens automatically as you scroll. Your brain just does it.
And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the highlight reel, all the perfect, shiny, curated moments that people post. And on the other side, well, that's our actual life. The good, the bad, the boring. A regular Tuesday. We're basically comparing our behind-the-scenes footage to their greatest hits movie trailer. It's a comparison we can never, ever win.
So, what happens when you do that day in and day out? You get this: FOMO, the fear of missing out. It's that nagging voice in the back of your head that says, hey, looks like everyone else is having more fun than you, all because their curated online life looks a whole lot shinier than your real life feels. Okay, but it gets deeper. Because it's not just about what we see, it's about what we're actually doing on these platforms. And this brings us to the engagement gap. So, a lot of us have a follower count that looks something like this: 500, maybe 1,000, maybe more. And on the surface, that feels incredible. It feels like you have this huge built-in community.
But here's the real question. If you were having a truly terrible day, how many of those 500 people could you actually call? I mean, really call for support? Suddenly, that huge number gets a whole lot smaller, doesn't it?
And this is why. Think of online interactions like social fast food. Likes, quick shares, a fire emoji. They're like a quick sugar hit. You get a little dopamine rush, and it feels good for a second. But it's not real nourishment. Real connection is the stuff on the right, the deep conversations, the shared jokes, the feeling that someone's really there for you.
And research totally backs this up. The simple act of just scrolling, of just watching other people's lives go by, that actually makes us feel more lonely than actively jumping in and engaging. We're turning ourselves into spectators instead of participants.
Which leads us straight into our final and maybe most important idea: the reality gap. This is where social media creates this powerful and sometimes kind of damaging illusion of intimacy.
See, the platforms are designed to make us feel like we're being social. We're seeing faces we know, we're reading their updates, we're tapping a little heart. But you can spend hours doing that and walk away feeling, well, completely empty, without any of the real emotional benefits of friendship.
And this chart really just says it all. Time is the one thing we can't make more of. And every hour we spend scrolling is an hour we're not spending on actual face-to-face interaction. And as it turns out, that in-person time isn't just a nice-to-have. It's something our brains absolutely need.
So what's getting lost in translation? Pretty much everything that makes communication human. It's the little shift in someone's tone of voice, the comfort of making eye contact, the way someone leans in when you're telling a story. It's all that unspoken stuff that makes us feel truly seen and understood.
Okay, so we've broken down the problem pretty thoroughly, but we're not going to leave you hanging. So what's the solution? How do we actually push back against this digital loneliness? Well, it all comes down to getting back to basics.
It really is this simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. It's about focusing on the quality of our relationships, not the quantity of our followers. It's about pushing past the superficial likes to have real, meaningful conversations that give us that genuine emotional support we all crave.
And that, right there, is the ultimate takeaway. Social media can be a fantastic tool to start a connection, but it's rarely the destination for a deep one. Real connection is built on quality, on meaning, and on support. So maybe the real question isn't how many friends you have online, but who you're going to share a real conversation with. Today,